What is up, guys? Joker here, bringing you a video on Biomutant, the new game that released on Steam with the overhype. Essentially, what it is it's an open world RPG style game. The best way to describe it really is think Conquer, think a watered down version of Conquer plus Rashid and Crank plus open world, and that's essentially it. Uh, the reason why I reference those is because it has the sarcastic quips, like the quips that it wants to try to be like Conquer, but it's really not. Because Conquer is the only Conquer there could be, so it's like a watered down Conquer plus Rashid and Clank. As you can see, the cricket in your character, it's essentially the exact relationship of Rashid and Clank, pretty much, except for the cricket doesn't talk. But he supports you in all the same ways. And then with just the open world, I can show the map real quick. And pretty much all it's been so far is you team up with a faction and then you kill all the other factions. Then there's like a mini boss called the World Eater somewhere around here. You go ahead and you kill it, but it hasn't been that impactful on me really, right? I haven't seen anything in this game so far that's like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I mean, I guess you can collect mounts and shit, and then it shows you like the tribes of everyone I murdered. Um, but yeah, I was expecting, with all the hype that this game was getting, I was expecting it to be better. I need a what? I need a pine pipe? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit better, because honestly, it seems like they just stole the concepts that's in some other open world games and just tried to smash it on top of pretty much Ratchet and Clank, um, while giving it pretty much mediocre combat at best, right? The reason I say mediocre combat at best is because it pauses constantly in combat to pretty much ask you if you want to it pauses to ask you if you want to pretty much dodge. Let's see if I can find something to fight here real quick. But that's something that turned me off dramatically, right? Because it's not like I'm in easy. I did play the game in normal, so I mean, I didn't do it in hard. But the fact that the combat pauses. Oh, cool. I can tag this because I want to come back here at some point. Um, but yeah, the fact that the combat pauses kind of kills the fluidity in it, and it makes a lot of the fights a joke. Um, like a couple of the boss fights that I've done have been so ridiculous that it goes ahead and it just pretty much halts combat and tells you, "Hey, press B. Hey, press B. Hey, press B," which is your dodge roll. Um, and you can essentially not take any damage from boss fights. So to me, that shouldn't really be an interaction, right? Is you shouldn't be able to just pause time, not even proactively. You just naturally, the game pauses time for you, and the game pauses time for you and tells you to dodge. Now, that being said, I feel like I feel like the bosses do, well, actually, not even just the bosses. I feel like the creatures in general have an over-tuned amount of health. I've never actually seen an area with creatures the same level as me. It's always been fighting creatures several levels over me, but they still have ridiculous amounts of health for kind of no reason. Like sometimes you'll fight wild mobs that have more HP than sometimes you'll fight wild mobs that have more HP than the bosses. This could be a good example. Um, I feel like this is a fight coming up. And as you've seen, this is a big part of it, is just the looting to pick up the items. Are you no, you're not. Um, but yeah, you loot, and then a lot of these are like healing items as well as the items you use to craft, which, I mean, I guess I can say is one positive. I like the weapon crafting system because if you look at my sword, I made the sword like myself. I chose to put the giant blade and that specific handle on it. If you look at my gun, I went ahead and I'm the one who put the stock on it. I'm the one who put the sight on it. So let me go over to the crafting menu real quick so it's not like a full bashing thing, right? So this is the crafting menu. And then essentially what it is you have the option of augmenting any of your existing weapons or going ahead and making a brand new one. At which point you would essentially just choose your base, what type of weapon you want it to be. And then if you go over here to the melee and you go craft new, you get to choose what type of base it has. And then let's go here. So these are going to be all like swords. These are going to be blunt things, obviously. And then you get to choose mix and match. I'll throw something together and I won't save it. Okay, see? So I chose the blade, and then I go look at the handle. And as you can see, it augments the damage. It tells you if it's going to be a fast weapon, if it's a slow weapon, the quality of the weapon, and how much materials it would take to put that weapon together. So I guess I like that portion of it where you got to keep up that scavenging. That way you can go ahead and you got to keep up the scavenging to go ahead and try to upgrade weapons and stuff. Okay, let's walk away from that. But yeah, so if I had to say pluses, positives and negatives about the game, I'd say the crafting system is one. The graphics, like how the world looks, is two. But apart from that, everything else for me is a negative. The combat is a huge negative. The fact that it's kind of just a ripoff of a generic open world is a ripoff. A ripoff of a generic open world is a down. So the fact that they just stole a bunch of open world concepts from other games, which I mean, I guess you can't really say that because there's only so much you can do with open world, but still, it feels like a lot of the stuff is just directly taken from other games. And the fact that the combat is so bad and it's such a big part of the game is what turned me off as well. So I may play a little more, but I don't know how much more I'm gonna play. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of combat. That's why I was trying to run around and find a fight, but I haven't been able to find anything I can kill recently. So I'd see my little cricket attacking stuff if there was. But because I wanted to show you the combat. Okay, there's stuff over here, right?
That's a shop. Time to go shopping.
So essentially, if you look at the health bars of these things, right, and see how much HP they actually have with a gun that's actually doing a decent amount of damage, like, I don't feel like normal mobs should have that much health. And it's not like this is slow-mo or anything, right? This is real time. This is real time what this looks like. What the combat of the game looks like. And that's one of the things that was a turnoff, is because as you can see, the combat's not fluid. It is super clunky. It's not, in my opinion, it's not good. As well as the auto targeting in it is kind of bad as well, right? So, I mean, as you can see, he targeted me, but it slowed down time enough for me to move. And that's part of it, is the fact that there's really no consequence, and if you do pay enough attention, that you don't get hit is kind of stupid. It's like they watered it down to a degree. See how he slowed down enough, but I didn't push the button because I just try to burst them down. Because like I said, there's no consequence to not just bursting them. but yeah, I don't know how I really feel about it because honestly, there was so much hype for this game, right? And the fact that it came out in a state where I guess it's fine to some people, where some people like it, but the thing is, why not just do like another Ratchet and Clank game that would be better, right? Or pay for a Ratchet and Clank game that'd be better than doing pretty much watered down open world Ratchet and Clank, right? So after I kill this other little mini dude, and as you can see, this isn't a boss or anything. This is just a random mob, um, and he's just able to soak hundreds, thousands of fucking damage. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw together, hopefully this short is video, keep it around 10-12 minutes for you guys, to kind of show why I don't like the game. The combat doesn't feel fluid. I don't think anyone who's ever played a combat fluid game has played this game, because there's some reviews saying that the combat's fluid, and it's not. Like, the combat's not good at all, in my opinion. But that's a plus that a lot of people are saying is, oh, the combat's so amazing. No, it's really not. I just showed you the combat. Like, I guess it's up to personal preference, but all those time freezes is real time combat. There may be a way of turning that off that I have not figured out or something, but that's real time combat. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to go ahead, like I said, throw together this short video for you, showing off a little bit of gameplay from Biomutant and explaining what I think are, I guess, pros and cons. Sorry, it's been mainly negative, but there's not really that much great or good about the game, in my opinion. So it is kind of subjective, but I'm sorry, there's just not that much good. The fact that everything's narrated with like the stupidest voice ever as well is kind of a downfall too. You can't hear it because I have the gameplay turned down because I hate the narrator. It's the worst narrator ever. They have so much dialogue in the game, but they used one narrator, and it's like the narrator's trying to explain stuff to you like you're stupid. So that was another turn off. But yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As I go over more games and more videos, I may jump back to PoE in a couple of days. I just wanted to go ahead and do a couple of other things. Like I said, I was getting burnt out of the league, so trying to figure out what I can even do in PoE or what I'm going to do next. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, take care.